Hey, morning. Not too bad. How are you? Oh, sorry, do you need to get in here? I just want to make some copies of my agenda item for the meeting later. Well, you never know. Could be my moment to shine. Hey, the coffee's good this morning. They finally cleaned out the urn and bought some fancy imported stuff. So are you finding your way around town okay? I know you've only been here a few months, but routines can take years to perfect. I should know. Hey, any plans for Halloween? What do you mean, none whatsoever? Don't you want to decorate your front yard, or... Oh, right, apartment. Sorry, forgot about that. Well, are you gonna hand out candy to the trick-or-treaters? Oh. Well, will you at least stream a scary movie or something? Not big on Halloween? Huh. Well, I understand that some people cherish it more than others, but there's more to it than just trick-or-treaters and candy and stuff. Well, you're gonna carve a pumpkin at least, right? Okay, this is actually starting to break my heart a little. Well, no, of course you don't have to carve a pumpkin, but... I don't know, it's festive. It's fun. When was the last time you carved one? Years? Like, literally years? Oh. Wow. Oh, okay. Copies are done. Here you go. I think whatever you printed should be coming out next. Yeah. See you at the meeting. Hey, let's go get some pumpkins tomorrow. My treat. I know you're not big on Halloween, but you're still a newcomer. This'll give you an opportunity to see more of the town. Plus, I think if you get in the spirit of things, it might help you meet some people. We only ever see each other in this break room or at the occasional meetings that are mostly just pointless bureaucracy anyway. I just don't like the idea of you letting the holiday pass you by. Besides, I owe you. I was the only one in our department who didn't chip in on your welcome gift basket when you started working here. Yeah, I know I was out sick, but the guilt has been eating at me ever since. So, will you let me treat you to a pumpkin just this once? Please? Great! Okay, yeah, tell you what, I'll pick you up tomorrow at, noon? Is that alright? Yes, I'll drive. It's part of the experience, and I'm honestly afraid you might get lost otherwise. Cool. What's your address? Hey, all set? You don't look too enthused. Well, I appreciate that you're allowing me to redeem myself at least. Oh, that's my hacksaw. You can just throw that in back if you need some legroom. Well, we're getting pumpkins, aren't we? Some places don't have enough to spare, so it's just good strategy to have one on hand. No. We are not acquiring our pumpkins from a supermarket or a hardware store. Those are sweatshop gourds. In my opinion, there's only one place around here to find a proper, respectable pumpkin for Halloween. Not far. Maybe 10 miles or so. No, I'm not crazy. Maybe a foodie and a bit of a pumpkin snob, but Hey, by your own admission, you haven't celebrated Halloween in years, and you've only lived in this town a few months. Just trust me on this. And here we are. What do you think? Well, in all fairness, it is an old house in the middle of nowhere. But look at the sign next to the mailbox. That's right. Pumpkins for sale. Let's go. I'll get the saw. So the couple that lives here, they're pretty old. Like mid-80s. The guy was a doctor for about 30 years, and his wife was a teacher. After they retired about 18 years ago, they started raising pumpkins as something to do during their golden years. After a while, it just sort of grew into a small business. You just wander the patch, saw off however many pumpkins you like, bring them around to the front, knock on their door, and pay them right then and there. This is my 11th year of patronage. They charge by the pound, but there's a scale on their front porch. Yeah, it probably would be cheaper to just buy a pumpkin at the supermarket right in town, but these two donate all their proceeds to their church and the local food pantry. It just feels more significant to buy them here. Because these are two people who, despite having spent decades helping others in their careers, still want to serve their community and help their neighbors put on a festive Halloween. To me, that feels a lot more meaningful than just throwing a pumpkin into a shopping cart or digging around for one in a seasonal bin that's wedged in between some mulch bags and a propane tank refueling station. Nice full harvest this year. Look at these. We'd better start making our rounds. Oh no, this shouldn't take long. Don't worry, I'm not going to keep you in a pumpkin patch all day and all night. I'm not Linus and you're not Sally. Yeah, I saw that on TV Halloween night when I was 9. We had a pretty bad thunderstorm that night, so trick-or-treating was out of the question. I was disappointed, but then my mom and I just sat on the living room floor with a small pile of candy between us and just binged on some classic Halloween specials. Oh, and I refused to take off my fish monster costume for the entire evening. Not the worst way to spend All Hallows Eve. Yeah. So did you see It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown too? Well, yeah, I felt bad for Linus, but I was even more disappointed that the Great Pumpkin never showed up. I wanted it to go on a rampage and eat the kids like peanuts. Yeah, I had an appreciation for classic horror even then. No, those are sugar pumpkins. They're supposed to be small. Great for cooking, but not so great for carving jack-o'-lanterns. The standard bigger ones are in the back, off to the side. Hey, so did you know that people used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins? Yeah, seriously. Well, the tradition of carving jack-o'-lanterns is from Ireland. The term jack-o'-lantern is based on an old Irish folktale about a man named Stingy Jack. According to the story, Stingy Jack invited the devil himself to have a drink with him. I couldn't tell you how or why he did that. Anyway, Jack didn't want to pay for his drink, so he convinced the devil to turn himself into a coin that Jack could then use to pay for their drinks. Well, as soon as the devil transfigured, Jack snatched up the coin and put it into his pocket next to a silver cross, which apparently prevented the devil from changing back into his true form. Eventually, Jack freed the devil, but only under the conditions that he, A, wouldn't bother Jack for 1 full year, and B, if Jack died, he wouldn't claim his soul. After the year was up, Jack managed to trick the devil again, this time into climbing up a tree to pick some fruit. While he was up in the tree, Jack carved a sign of the cross into the trunk so that the devil couldn't climb back down. He did eventually, but only after he promised not to bother Jack for 10 more years. You know the expression, fool me once, shame on you. Now, Jack did eventually pass away, but because of his reputation, God wouldn't let him into heaven. And since the devil had promised not to claim Jack's soul, he couldn't go to the other place either. So, according to legend, the devil sent Jack off into a dark, endless night with only a piece of burning coal to light his way. Jack put the coal into a carved-out turnip and has been aimlessly roaming the earth ever since. The Irish began to refer to him as Jack of the Lantern, and then, eventually, Jack O'Lantern. After a while, the Irish began to make their own versions of Jack's lantern by carving scary faces into turnips and then putting them into their windows to frighten away Jack or other wandering evil spirits. Eventually, Irish immigrants brought the tradition with them when they came to the United States, but since pumpkins were indigenous to America and made far better jack-o'-lanterns, the turnip was eventually phased out. Oh, you bet that's kind of cool. Okay, see what I mean? The pumpkins are getting bigger. These are the, quote, normal kind for carving. These are the ones we should be shopping around for. Now, when you're trying to find a good, high-quality pumpkin, you need to start at the top and work your way down. The first thing to scope out is the stem. These are all still on the vine, so that probably won't be an issue, but if they've already been harvested, then you want to pick one out with a stem that's a nice, dark green. As soon as they're cut off from their vines, then they start to dry out and the stem turns from green to a crispy brown. In that respect, these all here look pretty good. Next thing you want to look at is the rind. You want to make sure that it's solid to the touch. If it has even a little bit of give, then chances are it's too far gone to make it into a sturdy, solid jack-o'-lantern. It also needs to have its distinct ridges and make sure it's a deep, rich orange color. If a pumpkin meets all those standards, then your final step is to knock. Yeah, you heard me. Just make a fist and give the rind a few solid knocks. If it makes a deep, resounding echo, then you've picked out a winner. These all look really nice and ripe. Oh, these are the perfect size. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Here, try to lift that one, then try to lift the one next to it. Yeah, the one on the left only weighs about half as much as the one on the right, despite both of them being the same size. That means it hasn't absorbed enough water and most likely has fewer nutrients. Well, survival of the fittest. Some pumpkins shrivel up and die because there just isn't enough water to go around for every single one on the vine. We're definitely in the right general area, though. Let's keep looking. That's largely a matter of opinion, but I personally like pumpkins that are almost completely spherical with a slight depression at their stem. Since I can carve a smaller opening at the top, it'll hold a lot more candlelight and will glow much brighter at night. I'm also partial to stems that have a gentle arc away from the main body, but that's purely for aesthetics. Well, I like Halloween because, I guess, it feels like anymore we're more or less told how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to be. From a young age, we're pretty much expected to plan out our lives and make sure that plan meets everyone's approval. And if we don't plan our lives, other people, or society in general, just plans them out on our behalf. I mean, look at our job. We have to follow a dress code, we have to attend meetings, we're not even allowed to post certain things about our company on our social media pages. Just yesterday, when I made those copies in the break room, I had to punch in a specific code and report my paper usage to our administrative assistant for no reason other than to have a record that I can almost guarantee will eventually be lost on the scrimmage. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm all for following the rules. We have to have some degree of order to function as a business or to function as a society, but even so, most days it feels like life is nothing but a mass of regulations and red tape. But Halloween is different. It's more than just a night. It's more than just a season. It's a state of mind where you can be whomever or whatever you want. It's a celebration of the fantastic, of the unknown, of the spooky. It's a time of mystery and fantasy that you would enjoy getting lost in. For a little while, you can forget about professional obligations and how difficult life can be. You don't have to carry anything with you except for your own imagination. Your own private wonderland. Plus, the candy is nice too. Well, there are a lot of sides of me that you wouldn't see at the office. Oh, look at this one. Oh, it's as round as a beach ball. And it even has a little dip at the top and... Oh my gosh, and the stem is curving away from it at, like, almost exactly a 45-degree angle. Perfect. Okay. All right. Don't get too excited. Let's check the criteria. A dark green stem. Dark orange rind with plenty of ridges. Nice and solid. No soft spots. Oh, please, oh, please, oh, please. Oh, listen to that. Hear that echo? It's perfect. All right. Okay. Careful. Almost. Got it. Okay. You want to keep looking? Huh? Hey! Where'd you go? Where? Oh, they wouldn't ditch me, would they? Everything was going so well. Maybe I weirded them out with all the trivia I was spouting. Oh! Hey! Why'd you wander off? What? Hey! White pumpkins! Wow! They haven't grown these in like 5 years. Oh, they look healthy. I prefer the traditional orange coloration myself, but if you want one of these... Hey, what's wrong? You look like there's something on your mind. Oh, your mother taught kindergarten? Really? She used to buy these for her students? For Halloween? But isn't it kind of dangerous to give little kids knives to... Oh, to paint them. Of course. Right. That makes sense. Well, would you like one? I promised you a pumpkin, not explicitly an orange pumpkin. Yes, I'm sure. Pick whichever one you want. That one? Okay. Let's see. Nice stem. Solid. It's got ridges. And it's hollow. Coming right up. Here you go. A genuine homegrown Cucurbita maxima. To use the proper vernacular. To the common folk, a white pumpkin. You're welcome. No, it's just, you have a really nice smile. All right, well, we've got our pumpkins, so let's head back. Oh, well, botanically speaking, what I'm holding is a Cucurbita moschata. You know, it's interesting. In that movie, when Linus and Sally are awaiting the arrival of the Great Pumpkin, Linus says of the pumpkin patch, "Nothing but sincerity as far as the eye can see." That's another thing I like about coming here. Hey, Catherine. Great harvest this year. We're so glad you started growing the white ones again. Well, your husband was right. There is definitely a market for them. Just these two, please. We'll weigh them one at a time. Hmm? Oh, no, we're not, we're not together. Well, I mean, we are here together now, but we're not, uh, well, I mean, we do work together, but we're not, I mean, right. Yes, exactly. Hey, put that away. I told you it's my treat. Yes, I am sure. Once again, you are more than welcome. May I consider myself redeemed? Good. Yeah, I think pumpkins are nicer than gift baskets, too. Okay, well, here we are. See? That didn't take long at all. Glad I talked you into it? Yeah. Yeah, it was nice. So, what kind of face do you think you're going to carve into that? Oh! Oh, well, okay, yeah. You can paint it instead. It'll be more colorful that way. Oh, it'll look great on your desk. I think it'll be just anarchistic enough to show your coworkers who they're dealing with. Hey, uh, would you want to come over? No, I mean on Halloween. Well, you could help me carve my pumpkin. I can roast the seeds for us as a snack. Maybe make us a pizza as the main course. We could put on a horror movie and hand out candy to the kids. No, nothing too scary. Not like a psychological thriller with jump scare after jump scare. I mean a classic scary movie, like Night of the Living Dead or the original Frankenstein, maybe. 5 o'clock. Cool. All right. Yeah, I'll text you my address. All right. Well, I'll see you at the office Monday. Yeah. Take care. You need me to carry that or oh, you got it. Okay. See you then.